So what is it like trying to kind of like, you know, where did you start from at this project? You thought, I want to make a feature film. I want it to be about this, or is it, you know, is this the story of your life, Christina?
Oh, that was a really weird laugh.
No, not.
I've been with my partner for 19 years. She's like,
Oh, I've caused a domestic, sorry. John, where did the inspiration come from for this film?
Christina and I were talking, we sort of met up one night, and we were talking about romantic comedies and the ones that we love, and a lot of times there's the protagonist is kind of emotionally stunted and does bad things, but they're still charming enough that you like them. But Christina pointed out that it's always a man in that role, and wouldn't it be interesting to see a woman in that role? Which to me, I thought that was a great place to start. And so that's really where the germ of the idea began. And then I can't remember exactly how we got onto the serial monogamy part.
that just was like the first. Well, we wanted to make it about someone our age, so a middle-aged person. And I don't know, like serial monogamy just seemed like a funny character, like some, you know, a good person who does bad things. That's. Yeah.
So from that, how long did you kind of like work on the entire project? So it becomes this thing that you're writing, and then you get the crowdfunding from Indiegogo.
Yeah, we did it in a few stages. We worked on the script for a long time and developed the characters, and then we shot the trailer before we shot the movie, which was a bit unusual. But it helped us. I mean, as Christina said, it helped people see that we were serious. We were first-time feature filmmakers, so that gave it some legitimacy, I guess. And then from there, so we raised a chunk of money, which helped us get more funders. Yeah. And then we kept working on the script. We wrote, I don't know how many drafts, like, you know, 6 or 7 drafts of the script, and then eventually we put it all together and we started shooting. And as we said, we had our core cast, and then we had a second round of casting where a lot of the kind of secondary characters came into play. Right.
And so let's talk about that cast, because it is amazing, and I love Elsie as a character, and the actress that, I mean, it's just, I so identify with her, actually. So I know, like I said in my intro, I was like, oh God, it's one of those sharing Q&As that Emma does. Like, so talk me through, how did you cast Elsie?
Well, the process was really the way we made the whole film, which was turning to our community of collaborators. And so there's a ton of Toronto references in the film, but I hope that the way we did it, it can be sort of universal. Yeah. But what we wanted to create was the community feel. And what we wanted to change from, I go to many lesbian and gay film festivals, LGBT, everything. I see a lot of films, I've made a lot of short films, and what I wasn't seeing, I've totally lost my train of thought.
Oh no, that's okay.
You weren't seeing characters like Elsie? You weren't seeing that kind of like casting?
Casting.
Yeah.
What I wasn't seeing was the world. Like what you saw was like, it's a couple and they live in this world that nobody else lives in, and you don't see the world. Yeah. And so many queer relationships are affected by the people around them, and that's sort of what is funny about our community, and that's that's sort of, I think that was sort of fun. We picked people who were within our community of actors, and they're not well known, but some of them will be more well known. But they weren't well known because they were middle-aged, and a lot of them have given up on acting. Mm-hmm. And they're writers and stand-up comedians and like Coco, the radio personalities. They don't do this kind of acting anymore. So it was really fun to get them back up on stage.
And then I think they give you a lot of, like, they look like they're having a great time. So what was it like to direct them?
It was great because they're friends. You know, they're people that we know, and they know, a lot of them have worked together, not all of them. So they already had a kind of a chemistry built in a lot of times. So it was so easy because there also, a lot of them are improvisers. So they just kind of, you know, we tried to give them room to discover the characters and not kind of, you know, be too controlling, I guess, in that sense. Yeah, it was fantastic. And Diane, who plays Elsie, she's been around Toronto for a long time as a writer, and we knew her. I did a play with her a long time ago, and she just clicked. And she and Vanessa, who plays Lolly, really clicked in the auditions, and we just kind of felt like the chemistry was so good that it was an easy decision.
That's how we cast Elsie, was we put all the actors in the room with Vanessa, who we knew we were going to cast, and we were like, if they can seduce Vanessa, they have the part. And most of the actors were like wilting in her presence. They were like, oh, I don't know what to do. And Diane just went for it. She nailed it.
But I'm happy to say, actually, that pretty much we had 47 characters in that movie, which was ridiculously stupid as a, a feature. Like to have, you're not supposed to do that. Anyway, but anyone who came out to audition, we pretty much found a role for them, I think. Yeah. Somewhere in the film.
The curators and because there's so many funny people, and we couldn't stop.
We couldn't say no to any, It's like
and our producer, we kept expecting our producer to say no to us, and she wouldn't. And so then we were like, well, I guess we can add. You know what? I think we're going to add. We added Elvira Kurt in, and if people follow stand-up comedy, she has like just the most bit part, but it was like really expensive to bring more actors in, and we were like, let's just throw her in. She needs to be in the movie. We did. We spent so much time making sure that the background wasn't just like any old apartment, and we really wanted all of the mise en scène to be part of the characters. And we wanted to place Elsie as a person who's been in a cultural community, and I feel like, and so evidenced in these film festivals, but LGBTQ communities in general are very connected to the arts, and often are like the people who are making the art scene happen. And we wanted to not lose that thread while it was happening. And I'm a visual artist as well. And that's my world too. So I love it in films when you see little references to, and the show at the Gladstone Hotel was all queer artists. So that was just, it's like it was a little nod that we could put into the film.
So this whole film, very much queer people working on it, and the whole community. So very community-based film. That seems very important to you both.
Absolutely. And that's what we feel like our communities are so rich, and there's so much in them. And that was like, we made the film that we always wanted to make, since we've been pals forever and ever, and we've been in similar communities forever and ever. And we wanted to make that film that was like it's like you kid in the candy box. You want to put everything in, which was kind of a problem. At a certain point, we had to cut a lot of things out. But we were trying to like put all those things that you want to get on screen. And at one point, we were like, if nothing happens with the film, the Wikipedia page for this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, the only thing I would add is that it's also in Toronto. People are used to just working on each other's stuff all the time, and for no money usually. And so everyone gets that, like, that call to action. People were so great about responding to, because we tried to, we also, as Christina said, support each other as a community and just try to help each other out with their work and come see everyone else's, whatever people are up to. So
I get that totally, because there's so many Canadian films. Like I say, I'm always very pleased when I see one, but also, they were coming from Toronto, and they're kind of like, you get the filmmakers kind of like say, oh, have you seen such and such a film? They're working on it now, and you know that there was a script editor that's now a director of something, and it seems very, like, I don't know, just very gelled, and I want to move to Toronto, basically, is what I'm saying. That's the secret mission. But speaking, where is this film going to go to next? Kind of like, I'm very, very happy that we were able to bring it over as a special preview for Flair. So what's...
We can't say yet. We're going to... It is. We're going to have our world premiere in Toronto very soon. And we're not allowed to announce it yet. That's all I can tell you.
So this was a secret. This whole... It didn't even happen. It was a dream.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
And then, so do you have distribution? Are you kind of like going to be, what is the plan for Portrait?
Plan?
Oh, okay, you don't have a plan.
No, we're working on that. We have someone who's helping us with the distribution and selling the film, and we're also we're talking to various distributors.
Yeah.
We would love to get it. We would really love to go to. We feel like queer festivals are our world, and we'd really like to visit many of them, and we'd like to put it out into theaters and then eventually VOD, and we want it to be out there, definitely.